Long before man walked the earth, strange creatures roamed the planet. And they're making a return appearance here in Western New York, in the city of Rochester. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be talking to a park ranger all about this and other things on this week's episode of the State of Greater Western New York Report, which, as always, is brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard. Benton Holy Falls Finest Center.
More than just your news,
it's your history. Welcome everyone, to this edition of the State of Greater Western New York Report.
Join us
each episode as we discuss fantastic topics ranging from history to science to the strange and the wonderful, as well as the treasured spirit with which our region has infused America. We challenge you to consider all things Greater Western New York, from our region's very beginnings to how it inspires, how it empowers, and why it is so vital. Here's the host of the State of Greater Western New York Report, Chris Carosa. Hi there, and welcome to today's show. We've got a great guest with us today who's going to tell us, actually, it looks like we might have two guests. He's going to tell us some interesting things. Marty Hoffman, he's park ranger with Jurassic Quest. Marty, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up becoming a park ranger.
Well, I'm a long-time dinosaur nerd. In fact, even when I was a little kid in school, one of our teachers had a little dinosaur segment over the next room, and I would sneak over and go see her room with all the dinosaurs in it. And then later on, when I was in sixth grade, she had me come back and teach her second graders about dinosaurs. So I've been doing the dinosaur thing for quite a while.
Interesting. And the idea of dinosaurs and coming to Rochester, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually show you a little bit of a clip of what we have here going on. Let's see if I can show this now. Yeah, let's see what's coming out to Rochester in a few weeks.
Welcome to the greatest dinosaur show. Jurassic Quest. Colossal, fantastic, dinosaurs is Jurassic Quest. Colossal, fantastic, dinosaurs is Jurassic. Welcome to the greatest dinosaur show in the world.
So Marty, tell us, what is this show? When is it? Where is it? And how do people get tickets for it?
So Jurassic Quest is the #1 interactive dinosaur show in North America, with so many dinosaurs you can see. In fact, in our exhibit, we have a 50-foot-long Spinosaurus, which is something you definitely want to see in person. We have baby dinosaurs that you can meet. We have walking dinosaurs, large rideable dinosaurs, fossil exhibit area, fossil digs, so many different things for you to do. And you can get your tickets at JurassicQuest.com. And since you're watching the show, you can actually use the promo code RAPTOR for 10% off. And we're going to be in Rochester, New York at the Joseph A. Florino Riverside Convention Center. I think it's got to have Rochester in there again. It's a really long name for a convention center. But we're going to be there February 24th to the 26th.
So just a couple of weeks now. And so before we get into the actual exhibit, let's talk a little bit behind the scenes, because this is something that always interests people. So, for example, you said you have a 50-foot dinosaur coming. How do you get something that big from wherever it is it's coming from to here and inside the building?
The big trick is a lot of semi-trucks. Probably around 14 or so semi-trucks at the time. So it started off as a much smaller show back in 2013. I think the original show was one show and it had 3 trucks. And now we've got three shows that travel around the United States and Canada, and I think each show has around 14 trucks. So it's a big undertaking to get those trucks from city to city and get them all there and bring all of our stuff and get it set up.
How long does it take usually to set this thing up? I mean, you've got a lot of these dinosaurs there and a lot of big ones too, and I'm assuming that they're all like animatronic or something, but it's got to take a while to put it all together. And how many people are there to put it together?
So we've got around 30 people at each show, and it takes typically around 2 days to set it up because we've gotten pretty good at it. And then it takes about a day and a half to break it down.
And how many shows a year do you do, and what are the other cities that you go to?
Pretty much we are on the road all year round, so might get a couple weeks off on certain holidays, but pretty much we're out on the road. So there are 3 shows that are constantly all across the country and across Canada.
And you don't do this by yourself. You've got a team of park rangers that are there with you. Can you introduce us to some of those other people and tell us what they do?
So we've got so many different people that work on the show, from people that are setting it up to other entertainers and dino trainers that we have at the exhibits. We have 4 main characters that travel and go out to different shows at different times. There's myself, Park Ranger Marty, there's Dino Dustin and Safari Sarah, and then there's Prehistoric Nick. There's Dino Dustin and Safari Sarah there. And then Prehistoric Nick is right there, just looking all knowledgeable, because he's one of our dinosaur experts as well.
And what do they all have similar training? Are they all, paleontologists by training or something? I don't know. Is that what you call the dinosaur people?
They all come from very different backgrounds. They're all very entertaining, and they're all sweet, lovable people, and they know quite a bit about dinosaurs. But Prehistoric Nick and I are the true dinosaur experts on the show.
So as a dinosaur expert, tell us, were there any dinosaurs that roamed Western New York?
Most of the eastern coast, a lot of it was underwater during the time of the dinosaurs. So that's like you say, were there dinosaurs in Florida? No, it was totally underwater at the time of the dinosaurs. And then there were some dinosaurs on the east coast. However, a lot of when the ice age came down, those glaciers came down, they kind of just scraped those rock layers away. So there's a big gap in the geologic time frame there, the thing that we can actually see, and that makes it a little more difficult for us to know what dinosaurs were actually there.
Yeah, and we have talked in past shows about the Ice Age and what happened from a geological standpoint, why certain rocks are available here. Obviously, a lot of people who are listening to this show are familiar with trilobites. Can you tell us a little bit about trilobites? I know they're not really dinosaurs, but those are the kind of fossils people see around here.
Now, trilobites, I don't know if you've ever seen one. They almost look like a little roly-poly bug or pill bug, depending on what part of the nation you're from. But they're actually closely related to horseshoe crabs. And they were on the planet way before the time of the dinosaurs. In fact, horseshoe crabs were around at that time as well, and they have managed to survive until today. To give you an idea of how old horseshoe crabs are, which were around at the same time as the trilobites, they were on the planet before there were trees on the planet. So they're very old. If you see a horseshoe crab on the beach, understand it's not on your beach, you're on its beach.
And, the other thing that I'm thinking of is, and you mentioned being underwater, Western New York being underwater. What did the continents look like at the time of the dinosaurs? Was this the Pangea when everything was all smashed together, or were they starting to break apart by the time of the dinosaurs?
So in the Triassic, it was Pangea. Triassic is the earliest stage of the dinosaurs. So when we're talking about dinosaur time, we're talking about the Mesozoic. She thinks my beard is spoon. So
when
we're talking about the Triassic, that's going 250 to 200 million years ago. So that was Pangea. Then during the time of the dinosaurs, which were on the planet until about 66 million years ago, the Jurassic and the Cretaceous, the continents kind of spread out. And by the end of the Cretaceous, about 66 million years ago, it looked pretty much like the continent today, except for things like Florida were underwater because we hadn't gotten to the Ice Age yet. That took a lot of that water and froze it up in the caps of the planet. So we're kind of at the end of an Ice Age right now.
Yeah, a few weeks ago we might have thought we were back in the Ice Age, but there was a question here from the audience, and it's the classic, what killed off the dinosaurs? Is it true that a meteor did it, or what's the prevailing theory about that? And if that is the prevailing theory, which it might be, can you give us a little history? I don't know, this is more history of science than actual science.
I can definitely tell you about the end of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, tell us a little about the history of how we progressed. Like, what was the first theory about the end of the dinosaurs, and then how we progressed to where we are today?
There have been a number of different theories about what killed off the dinosaurs. When I was young, back in the 70s, it was, the world got too cold for the dinosaurs and they died off because of the cold nature. You know, they couldn't adapt fast enough. But now, because we have found a layer of iridium, which is radioactive material, all across the world at this circuit about 66 million years ago, the places that you get that from are either volcanoes, so a lot of volcanic activity, or asteroids. And the best theory right now, we have a crater that we can see from space called the Chicxulub crater, and the Chicxulub crater was down in the around Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico. And that rock would have been about a 7-mile wide chunk of rock. That's about the size of Manhattan. And it would have crashed into the Earth with about the explosive force of every single nuclear warhead we have on the planet detonated at once times about 1,000. So anything in the local area would have been just set on fire, and the explosion would have killed everything. Anything further away, the Earth that it hit left a crater about 120 miles wide and 12 miles deep. All of that Earth that it displaced just turned into liquid magma, threw it across the continent, and we've actually found in South Dakota little bits of that magma frozen, or like, and then crystallized in the air, or hit, it just turned into shock quartz. All the way over that far away from the Gulf of Mexico. So it was a huge thing that would have thrown up a giant cloud of ash in the sky, would have blocked out the sun for potentially years. And that would have caused all the plants to die, the big plant-eating animals like Dinosaurs, who lived way before that. But the big plant eaters wouldn't have food to eat, so they would die. The meat eaters that were eating them wouldn't have food to eat, so they would eventually starve to death and die. And left the smaller animals, or the animals that didn't have to eat very often, to actually manage to survive and repopulate the Earth.
You know, you gave me an idea. So this meteor hits, puts up all this ash, maybe starts volcanism going on, ignites the volcanoes, which puts up more stuff in the atmosphere. Was there an ice age that happened like immediately or soon thereafter? I don't know enough about ice ages to remember when they all occurred. Do you know if there was an ice age?
There have been a number of ice ages. One of the earlier ones, and I don't remember the exact date of it, was what we call snowball Earth, where the entire planet would have frozen over. But the latest one that we have has happened just a few million years ago.
Yeah, that was way after the dinosaurs, right?
Way after the dinosaurs. Non-avian dinosaurs died out about 66 million years ago. When I say non-avian, I'm basically just saying non-birds, because birds are also technically dinosaurs.
Yeah, the birds today that we see today are dinosaurs, or at least they're on the same family.
Yeah, they're descendants from the theropod family. So things like T-Rex were theropod dinosaurs. They had the 3-toe claws, and those are the animals. But some of them were already very bird-like by the time of the dinosaurs. And there are three differences between dinosaurs and birds. Typically, dinosaurs will have teeth in their beaks, whereas birds do not. They have claws on their wings, whereas birds typically do not. And then birds have fewer vertebrae in their tail. But that's it.
All right. Well, let's take a break for a commercial here. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the actual show and what you might see there. We'll be back in a minute.
Through the mists of time,
nature and man have both created and buried treasures beyond the imagination.
With
the ages, these riches slowly dissolve into mere myths, until they are forever forgotten.
But there are those brave souls
who tirelessly cling to the truth,
ever seeking to discover the undiscovered, to reveal what has always been there. To uncover the hidden gems of a land thought forsaken, but loved by millions. 50 hidden gems of Greater Western New York. Discover the secrets in your own backyard. Buy your copy now at 50hiddengems.com.
Welcome back to the State of Greater Western New York Report. I'm Chris Carosa, and with me today is Marty Hoffman. He's a park ranger at the Jurassic Quest experience. So, Marty, tell us a little bit about what people might expect to see as they walk through this event and experience the dinosaurs of old.
The first thing they're going to see when they walk in is our dinosaur exhibit, where we have 160 of dinosaurs. So giant animatronic, life-size animals that move and make different sounds than we think they might have made. And some that we just make sound good. but that's the first thing you're going to see, and that's one of my favorite parts. And we've added something new this year. We have the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is our video tour, where myself, Park Ranger Marty, Dino Dustin, Safari Sarah, and Prehistoric Nick tell you a little bit about the different dinosaurs in the scene. So we used to have a tour that you go and you had to show up at a certain time to see, but this way you can do it at your own, at your leisure. So that's a really great aspect that we have now for the exhibit.
And you see from that video there, people were actually riding on dinosaurs. What are some of the other things? We have
for kids 10 and under, we have some of the largest rideable dinosaurs. We have dinosaur bounce houses, crafts and coloring stations. If they want to pretend they're a paleontologist, we have a fossil dig where they can dig up dinosaurs, and we have our excavation station where they can get a little chunk and get real fossils out of it by using a little pick, just like paleontologists do. So there's a lot of things for the kids to do there. And for kids under 2, we have our new Triceratops soft play area. So definitely if you're a kid 10 or under, there's tons of stuff to keep you busy.
Triceratops. I like that. So what do parents do when they're there? Do they let their kids roam free like the dinosaurs, or do they have to go with them, or is there anything special for parents?
So with parents, we trip more for the education. So we have a lot of things. There's always that age where you like dinosaurs, And it's really nice to have that spark again. I've seen that level of dinosaurs in your own kids as they actually are experiencing. You're like, oh yeah, dinosaurs are cool. But there's so much new going on with dinosaurs right now. There's so many new things to learn. So basically, when you want to learn things about dinosaurs, we have a fossil exhibit area where we have real dinosaur fossils and a cast of real dinosaur fossils, and people there to talk to you about those fossils, like Prehistoric Nick, and then also to keep the education going, even if you're not on site. Or I'm not on site. We have our Dino 411 line where you can text your dinosaur questions directly to me, and I will answer those for you in real time.
Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing in this picture here, and I'll put the other picture on too.
So Prehistoric Nick and I are dinosaur experts, and we don't always agree on things. So he's, I don't know what we're discussing there, but we sometimes disagree. He's young and he doesn't know as much.
So what's he showing off here?
The ironic thing there is he is showing off three skulls. Not one of them are a dinosaur skull.
What are they?
He's holding a Dimetrodon skull, which was a Spinodontid, actually, which lived before the time of the dinosaurs. And then behind him are two animals that lived at the same time as the dinosaurs. The darker one is a Tylosaurus, and the one further in the back that's white is a Prognathodon. Both of those are marine reptiles in the Mosasaur family.
So if they're in the water, they're not considered dinosaurs?
Yeah, you'll see Mosasaurs, Ichthyosaurs, Plesiosaurs, many different things in the water, but typically not going to be a dinosaur. There are dinosaurs like Spinosaurus that we think was semi-aquatic and spent quite a bit of time in the water, but the key thing about a dinosaur is in its hips. So the legs are always directly under the hips. If the legs splay out to the side like you would see on a crocodile or a lizard, it's not a dinosaur.
Oh, I didn't know that. So this skull that he's carrying, it looks like a dinosaur, but it probably doesn't have the legs of a dinosaur?
It definitely doesn't have the legs, and it's actually not even. Another thing about dinosaurs is they're diapsids. Basically, that means behind the eye there are two openings, one on the top and one on the side. This one will only have one opening. It's a synapsid. So it's actually, in a way, more closely related to us than it is to dinosaurs.
So are those holes ears? Or the equivalent?
No. Sometimes they do have little openings for ears as well, but no, those are just big openings in the skull, typically where muscles attached to opening close to the jaw.
So somebody says, can dinosaurs hear? So I guess
dinosaurs can hear. They do have ears. They don't have big floppy ears like I do, but they do have little openings.
So tell us again, where's this going to be held? At the convention center in Rochester, right?
When we come to Rochester, we're going to be at this is such a long name, Joseph A. Marino Rochester Riverside Convention Center.
Right.
They add words to that location.
It used to just be the convention center.
24th to 26th. Friday it's going to be 9 to 8, Saturday 9 to 8, and Sunday 9 to 4. And you can get tickets at JurassicQuest.com. Tickets do sell out quickly, so go to Jurassic Quest to get your tickets before they go extinct. Also, because you're watching this, we have a special discount code RAPTOR, like in Velociraptor. So Raptor will get you 10% off.
So tell me, when you do this, and you've been doing this for a while now, what's the most popular question you get asked by kids? Let's start that off by kids. Then I'm going to ask you what the most popular question is by adults. So what do the kids ask you mostly?
Honestly, it's a similar question, honestly. This question gets asked so many times. Who would win in a fight, Tyrannosaurus Rex or Spinosaurus?
Which one is Spinosaurus? I'm always thinking of Triceratops versus T-Rex, but if I remember, they're not around at the same time. Is that right? I mean,
Actually, Triceratops and T-Rex were around at the same time. We know that T-Rex did eat Triceratops, at least juveniles. We have found T-Rex coprolite, which is fossilized poop, with little juvenile Triceratops bone fragments in it. So T-Rex was definitely eating Triceratops.
so what's the Spinus?
That they ask, though, about Spinosaurus, which is a large meat-eating dinosaur with a big sail on its back. I think it was in one of the Jurassic movies, 3, I believe, where it actually fought a T-Rex in 1. In actuality, whereas Spinosaurus is probably the longest meat-eating dinosaur, T-Rex is the heaviest meat-eating dinosaur, and whereas Spinosaurus's teeth were semi-aquatic, are primarily designed to catch and hold on to fish, T-Rex's teeth are designed for crushing bone. And he has the best bite force of any dinosaur, somewhere between 8,000 to 12,000 pounds per square inch. So in a fight between Spinosaurus and T-Rex, though they didn't exist at the same time or at the same place, you can hypothetically make it happen. Your buddy is best to be bet on T-Rex.
Well, I'm sure that DraftKings will have something to say about that, but is there such a thing as an Allosaurus still? I remember that name, Allosaurus, but maybe they...
Allosaurus, yes. Allosaurus was an earlier theropod that lived in the Jurassic time period. It would have been around with animals like Stegosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Brontosaurus, some of those other famous dinosaurs. What a lot of people don't realize is dinosaurs were on the planet for a really long time, about 160 plus billion years. And that's if you don't include modern day birds. So they were on the planet for a long time. And one of my favorite facts is that there is more distance in time between an Allosaurus, Stegosaurus, that time frame, than there is between a Tyrannosaurus and us. So between Stegosaurus and T-Rex, there's more time between T-Rex and us.
Holy cow.
I saw recently a thing on Disney train ride where you go past a scene where they've got a T-Rex fighting a Stegosaurus, and it would actually be more realistic to have a T-Rex fighting us.
Well, that's definitely interesting, and I think that I go back to my dinosaur, way back when, and Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. Okay, so let's talk about Brontosaurus. Do they still? One of them changed the name. Is that the one? Which one changed the name? Do you remember, or is this dating myself?
So here's the deal with Brontosaurus. So for a while, they had found two very similar animals. Both are related to Diplodocus. They found Apatosaurus, and then they found Brontosaurus. And a while back, some paleontologists started looking at them and thought, these are probably just the same animal. And since Apatosaurus was named first, then they said, okay, Brontosaurus is no longer a valid genus, so it's just going to be Apatosaurus now. In 2015, a study out of Oxford University, their paleontologists took a look and said, no, there's enough difference that these two are their own separate genus. So now, once again, we have Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus. So once again, Brontosaurus is a dinosaur.
And for all those folks out there, if the Brontosaurus can come back as a dinosaur, maybe Pluto can come back as a planet. Marty, thank you very much for being a part of today's show. Very, very informational, what you've shared with us. And again, just tell us time and date and where people can get the tickets for the show.
So we're going to be in Rochester from the 24th to the 26th, Friday 9 to 8, Saturday 9 to 8, and Sunday 9 to 4. And we're at the Joseph A. Florimino Rochester Riverside Convention Center.
Excellent. Thanks again.
And you can get your tickets at JurassicQuest.com.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here, for watching live. Thank you and people in the audience, live audience. If you want to be a member of this live studio audience and be able to ask a question, then go to our website, stateof.greaterwesternewyork.com, and you'll be able to sign up for free to get your free invitation every Thursday morning. It'll give you a link to the live studio, and it's only if you're in the live studio that you'll be able to ask the guests questions while it's happening. Otherwise, you could watch this when it's put up in our archives on our website, stateofgreaterwestnewyork.com, stateof.greaterwestnewyork.com, sorry about that. Or, likewise, you can like our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And every Sunday at 1:30, it's rebroadcast on those two platforms, and you will be notified if you like and or subscribe. So that's all for this week. Again, thanks, Marty, for being here, and we'll see you all next week.